This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Another murder suspect on bail for killed. The UN's latest warning on Haiti and the Bahamas games are over, but who won? It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's there. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, my special guest co-host, Tate Adderley, will be joining us. And we'll have a lot on today's news and business throughout the morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a 46-year-old man of Foxdale shot and killed at a nightclub in Fox Hill. It happened around 3 a.m. yesterday. Police reported that the man was involved in a physical altercation with another man who shot him. The victim was on bail in relation to a murder charge and was being electronically monitored. Police have repeatedly lamented the fact that many suspects accused of murder and other serious crimes, as well as murder victims, were on bail in relation to murder and other crimes at the time of their new offenses. In January, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando reported that most of the individuals charged with murder in 2022 were already on bail. The bail issue and legislative changes over the years have remained controversial, given that suspects have a constitutional right to be tried within a reasonable period. The judicial system has been plagued by a chronic backlog of cases, preventing many suspects from getting early trial dates. A 59-year-old man drowned at Goodman's Bay. Police reported this, saying it happened yesterday. According to reports, while swimming after 3 p.m., the man had a seizure, which resulted in him experiencing difficulties breathing. EMS personnel performed CPR with no success. His identity not released as yet. After almost 2 hours of deliberation, a jury unable to decide whether a 51-year-old man raped a 78-year-old woman in 2021. However, the 9-member jury convicted Charles Lightburn of burglary and causing harm to the senior citizen. Prosecutors alleged that after 11 p.m. on May 6, 2021, the woman was about to retire to bed when she was accosted by Lightburn, who had entered her house through a window. Prosecutors further alleged that Lightburn slammed the woman's head into a wall before he dragged her into her bedroom where he violated her. The woman said that after the sexual assault, Lightburn threatened to burn down her home if she reported the matter to the police or anyone. Lightburn, a farmer, exercised his constitutional right to remain silent during the trial and called no witnesses in his defense. The jury accepted that Lightburn burgled the woman's home, which is located on the family island, and viciously beat her. They accepted that. However, the jury could not reach a verdict on the rape charge. The prosecution will decide whether Lightburn will face a second trial for the rape. The jury convicted Lightburn of burglary and causing harm by a count of 7-2. Lightburn has been on remand since May 13th, 2021, returns to court on September 7th for the penalty phase of his trial. The prosecution has withdrawn its appeal against an 8-month-long sentence given to a gun convict. Prosecutors had sought to challenge the sentence handed to Ricardo Matthew on the basis that it was too lenient. However, by the time the appeal was called, Matthew had already completed his sentence. The Court of Appeal said that even if it had found the sentence handed to Matthew was unduly lenient, it would be unjust to require him to return to prison. As a result, acting Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions withdrew the appeal. Thousands of residents in North Eleuthera are plunged into darkness after a generator in Hatchet Bay suffered a major part failure. This was Friday. The generator that supplies Central and South Eleuthera in Rock Sound also went down due to an engine trip, but a team from BPL, we're told, was able to fix the issue. A team of technicians flew to Eleuthera yesterday to fix the issue at the Hatchet Bay power station. It's unclear if they've been successful. Residents of North Andros recently had to deal with load shedding after a fire destroyed BPL's power station in that community. Works Minister Alfred Sayers says the power has been restored to 90% of residents. And United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged the UN Security Council to take bold and immediate action to stem the violence and brutality in Haiti. He says time is of the essence to take concrete steps to stem the violence. Guterres says that he received a second letter from the Prime Minister back in June reiterating the request for robust support for Haitian security forces to reestablish peace and security in the country. More from overseas, vehicle traffic on the single bridge that links Russia to Moscow-annexed Crimea and serves as a key supply route for the Kremlin's forces in the war in Ukraine coming to a standstill today after one of its sections was blown up, killing a married couple and wounding their daughter. Rail traffic across the 12-mile Kerch Bridge also stopped but resumed after about 6 hours. The strike was carried out by 2 Ukrainian sea drones, according to Russia's National Anti-Terrorist Committee. Ukrainian officials were coy about taking responsibility, though, as they have been in the past with strikes. But in what appeared to be a tacit acknowledgement, Ukrainian Security Service spokespeople saying in a statement that the agency would reveal details of how the, quote, bang was organized after Ukraine has won the war. The attack was the second major strike on the bridge since October when a truck bomb blew up 2 of its sections. In sports, the 6th edition of the Bahamas Games coming to a close Saturday after 9 days of competition, with softball, basketball, track and field, boxing, and opti-sailing wrapping up competition as the final medal count got tallied. There was no overall winner, but individual sports winners. The Games made a return for the first time since 2001, and the next edition will be in 2026. Now, the Grand Bahama Lucayans finished with 191 total medals, the second most, but they had the most gold medals, 91. The Lucayans opened the Games with a whopping 62 gold medals in swimming and never looked back. They also had 59 silver and 41 bronze medals. New Providence Buccaneers finished with the second most gold medals with 77. They finished with the most total medals, as we said, with 211, though. The Buccaneers finished with 74 silver and 60 bronze. Rounding out the top 3 positions was the Andros Charnies, who captured 25 gold, 31 silver, and 27 bronze medals for a total of 83 medals. Now, the last gold medal game came down to a slugfest between the Grand Bahama Lucayans and the Eleuthera Adventurers in the men's softball competition. That was well into Saturday night at the Bankers Field at Blue Hill Sporting Complex. In the end, it was the Adventurers who took the gold, taking care of the Lucayans 21-15 to win the title. It was a classic rivalry in the ladies' championship game as the Grand Bahama Lady Lucayans and the Providence Lady Buccaneers went head-to-head as well. The visitors from the north lost control of the game, but managed to get a 9-8 victory to take the gold medal to Grand Bahama. And it took former NBA player Dexter Cambridge 20-plus years, but he finally got the elusive Bahamas Games gold medal for his home island of Eleuthera. He coached them to a 72-71 nail-biting victory over the New Providence Buccaneers at the Kendall Isaacs Gym Saturday. Before that featured game at the same location, the Exuma and Ragged Island Navigators got a 65-64 comeback victory over the Abaco Survivors to win the women's gold medal in basketball. Read more about how Cambridge did it in today's Guardian Sports section. And from Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic knows a thing or two about the talents and intangibles required to win big matches against the best players. He's been in 35 Grand Slam finals. He's won 23 of them. He played Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer a total of 109 times with head-to-head edges against both. He went 9-5 against them in title matches at majors. So it seemed only natural to ask Djokovic to whom he'd compare the new star of men's tennis, Carlos Alcaraz. After Alcaraz beat Djokovic across 5 sets in more than 4.5 hours in the Wimbledon men's final on Sunday. Djokovic seems to say he's got a little of all of them in him. Alcaraz, only 20, seems now to be the future of men's tennis. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. We've got low to mid-level troughing that's going to enhance the chance of shower activity across the northwestern islands, while high pressure continues to generate fresh to moderate breezes over the islands. Beachgoers in the southeast Bahamas should exercise caution as there's a risk of rip currents along east and south coast beaches. Boaters in the northwest Bahamas should be alert as there's possibility for waterspouts or funnel clouds. And again, everybody's being urged to remain hydrated and limit outdoor sun exposure, especially during peak hours, as heat indices will be in the triple digits again today. And we have the presence of Saharan dust, so those suffering from respiratory issues should also limit outdoor activities. So a lot going on. Your forecast for today, specifically for the northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot, and humid with isolated showers and thunderstorms. That'll continue through tonight. In the extreme northwestern islands, partly sunny, hot, and humid with a chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms, becoming fair and warm tonight. With a passing shower possible in the remainder of the northwestern islands, some of these showers could be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers or thunderstorms. Winds south to southeast or south-southeast to south-southwest at 10-15 knots, falling light and variable at times, seas 2 to 4 feet. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and hot with a few isolated showers or thunderstorms, becoming fair and warm tonight with a chance of showers or thunderstorms. Smallcraft caution remains in effect for the southeast Bahamas, winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots in the central islands, but 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the central islands, but 4 to 7 feet in the southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise today, look for highs getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius. But the heat index will make you feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a warm 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans. Available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Introducing Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger. Chimichurri. That's how you pronounce it. Let it roll off your tongue. Then get ready for some ridiculously good flavor. Fresh, herby, garlicky, green, chimichurri. It'll feel like a relaxing backyard get-together with friends on a Sunday. Put in a burger. Come meet Wendy's new Chimichurri Cheeseburger with our new Dave's Craft Lemonade. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's still. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, A special guest co-host today from the Eye Opener here on Guardian Radio on Saturday mornings. We've got Tate Adderley. Good morning, Tate.
How are you, Dwight?
Doing well. Great to have you with us.
Sounds good.
Hope you are able to function getting up this early on a Monday.
You know, you only call me in when there's no other option.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. So you think. You'd be surprised. But okay, but great for you to be here.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes, I appreciate the invite.
No problem at all. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about. In the news, let's get right into it. And in the news, a lot to talk about this morning. All right, so let's begin with, I guess, the happy stuff. We'll get that out of the way.
Is anything ever happy, Dwight?
Yeah. The Bahamas Games. I think this has been a great success. I honestly really didn't think it was going to go well.
Why not?
Just because of the timing and what it takes to put on something of this
magnitude,
right? At this scale, there were so many other things going on at the same time. I knew that people would be stretched thin with the number of events and starting it, during the week of the independence celebrations, but it's really been quite special, and the turnout has been decent, and I think. There was one thing lacking, and that's probably the media. Just more of a running total and keeping tab of how things are going, how we are with the Olympics.
Right.
We could have had more of that enthusiasm.
Right.
And maybe for next time, people will learn. Like every day, tune in. This is how things are going. This is the medal standings. This is the points, whatever it is.
Yeah, I didn't initially pay attention to it, but I was keeping track of the medal points, as a native of, I'm technically not a native of Grand Bahama. But I grew up in Grand Bahama for like 17 years. But to see how the island performed.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
So that's most of your life.
Yeah, most of my life. Yeah. I was surprised that they did well. That they did that well, getting the most gold medals. But I am thankful for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture essentially trying to bring something that's homegrown. And I think that this is. When was the last games, apparently? I think, was it 2000s or so? Because I probably was even born when the last one was.
It was 20-something years ago.
20-something years ago.
Yeah.
I was probably 3 or maybe 1 or 2. But, I mean, just to see something like this, it's fascinating and it gives me hope. But at the same time, it's been there one in like 20 years, right? So I think I would hope that after these things conclude, they take feedback from the community, from the people, and see how they can improve it over the next few years. You said the next one is in 2026?
2026, yeah.
Okay.
Last one was in 2001.
Okay, let's hope that the administration, if it changes, let's hope that the FNMs keep this up. Hopefully so, because that's how
Whoever's
things happen.
in power.
Whoever's in
Right,
power,
yeah. They will.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful stuff, and right. Depending on who wins it, because people go back and forth all over the world over who wins something, whether it's based on the number of medals or the number of gold medals, based on convenience, I guess. But yeah, Grand Bahama winning the most gold in many events, that would make them the winner. New Providence winning the most total medals, so. To some that would make them a winner. So both islands dominated. And I can't say I'm really too surprised that Grand Bahama did so well. A lot of our athletes who make it on the professional stage or the international stage are from Grand Bahama.
Let's see that New Providence and Grand Bahama, they poach from the family islands essentially.
Well, that is true.
That is true. So it is the family islands that wins.
Well, that's the whole Bahamas.
The whole Bahamas.
Yes, indeed. So, hey, tell us your experiences. What are you thinking about how this went? The Bahamas Games, if you went to the events, definitely basketball was very exciting volleyball as well. And tell us what you think and what what you hope you'll see in 2026. What needs to be done? What needs to be done to improve it? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. So congratulations to everybody who was a part of that and who organized it in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture as well. And I think maybe a little bit of separation between the Independence events and the games would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe the final 2 weeks in July. I know it's still really, really hot, but just to give people a little breathing room, maybe. But great stuff, and impressive. All right, so that's the good stuff. BPL.
Your power turnout this weekend?
I don't want to talk about it because then I think I'm going to jinx myself. Because people who listen to the show know that I'm in a jinxed area where at least once a week, but I can't say anymore.
Okay.
Right. But many people had issues all over the country. I see we got an email from a listener in Eleuthera, and BPL is explaining.
Oh, they're sending in emails to you all.
Yeah, well, everyone can email us at morningblend@nasgard.com. And one of our listeners says, please kindly bring some attention to this vexing legacy power problem. This past week was the worst ever. It's from Eleuthera again. We had power disruptions every day of the week, from 6 hours without power to 16 hours. What made matters worse, the residents had no prior notice. After writing to the minister for Eleuthera, I don't know what you mean by that. You mean the MP? Okay. I was informed that 2 generators were down, hence we would experience load shedding for a few days. Well, it has gone on for 7 days nonstop. The power generation system needs urgent attention. Many households have lost appliances, food spoilage, and medication lost that needed refrigeration. The island development has outpaced an updated system. Hence, we are where we are. BPL continues to put Band-Aids on this vexing matter without a real solution. We're now having blackouts, and I predict it will only be a matter of time before the system comes to a halt. All right, so from one of our listeners in Eleuthera. Now, so this is what BPL is saying. So it admits that thousands of residents in North Eleuthera were plunged into darkness after a generator in Hatchet Bay suffered a major part failure on Friday. The generator that supplies Central and South Eleuthera and Rock Sound also went down due to an engine trip. But a team from BPL was able to fix the issue. A team of technicians flew to Eleuthera yesterday to fix the issue at the Hatchet Bay Power Station. Residents of North Andros, as you know, have been experiencing horrific conditions as well as a result of a fire at their station.
I think I've known people who had to come to New Providence to live to get away from the power outages in North Andros.
Wow. You mean since this most recent one?
Since this most recent one, yeah.
Well, hopefully they
temporarily, of course.
Hopefully they were in the right neighborhood because they might not get relief here.
That is true. That is true. Why does it always feel like these issues tend to happen like during the summertime? I don't mean to be like a conspiracy theorist or sound like that, but it's like they keep happening around a certain time.
You know, the thing is, a lot of people say that because I think the summer is the most uncomfortable time here.
Right.
But BPL issues happen anytime
true,
of the year.
True.
It happens in the winter, what we call winter. It happens any day of the week. There's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes,
but it's just that we're the most miserable during the summertime.
Right. I think you notice it more.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's awful. It's awful all the time. All the time. So it's not just New Providence. As you see, other islands are having it, and they're developing as well. And so there, the text or the email said, things are rapidly growing on that island, and they can't keep up with the power supply. Can't keep up with the pace of the expansion of the.
What do you think about this? Would you support a foreign company coming in and providing and competing with the government of the Bahamas in terms of power generation? I don't support it, but I just want to see your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Anything. Anyone. I don't care. Even the Russians. I don't care. Because right now, we're struggling. And even if it's technical assistance, whatever, competition, partnership, for God's sake. And it's not like we haven't done it before. We've had many contracts with other companies. But you mean like an actual competition?
They're not like a management company who comes in and manages.
Right, not like that. You mean a company that you could decide to switch from BPL to another, but then they'd have to run their own
power lines and everything.
They can have two different sets. Yeah,
I think we're getting to a point where, as working with BPL and living in the space, I think people are starting to understand that you have to do things on your own, right? And so I've seen people do the push for solar and the push for renewable energy in some way. And I think that's where we're headed. I don't know if the solution of bringing in a foreign company makes sense to me. I don't trust them sort of people sometimes, especially when it comes to power generation, because they do shifty things. But I think we're heading into the direction.
For a foreign company would do shifty things. Yeah?
I mean, we still do shifty things, right? But they can be more shiesty. If that makes sense.
You sure?
Our own people are shiesty too. And you could call plenty names. You could call one name, but
the main issue is would the power stay on?
Would the power stay on?
Because that really, and would the bills not be exorbitant? If the bills could be lower and the power would stay on, I think almost anybody would agree.
Of course.
Come on in.
How much does it cost to like install solar on your home? Is that like a high price point?
It depends on a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, at this point, for what we're paying and what we're getting, I don't know. Let's see what this caller has to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan and Mr. Adley.
Good morning.
All right, Coffee here. You know, a while ago when he asked you, at least the question came up about a foreign or other company taking over to help the government with BPL.
Well, he didn't really put it like that. He said to compete.
Huh?
He said to compete.
Oh, yeah, because competition is more better for us, the consumers. But listen, when you say anything, when you said that, it made me remember what I hear people saying, that anything different than the PLP and the F&M rate. Now, I know some people were saying it, but I hear more people say it now. My question to you guys, gentlemen, this June bill would come out. I call it the mortgage payment.
Jesus.
I'm supposed to pay $400 a month, and some people say that's high. It's gone up to $1,250. We supposed to query this or just take this laying down and shut up and just pay the bill? But some of us, the majority of us, we can't pay all any at one time.
Yeah, this is crazy.
What's supposed to happen for this month? I hear too much people complaining. I experience this myself. I don't know how high your one's going up. How much percentage is that, Mr. Adley or Mr. Strachan, when it was $400, now $1,250? I hang up on this.
You need to get that checked out because that is very bad. That's extremely high.
That's like a 200% increase.
That's insane. That's 3 times. So something's wrong. But mine, I told you about this last month. Mine went up by more. Last month, it went up by more than $100. I got the new bill. I nearly passed out because
I can't.
I don't understand. It went up another because it went up a whole lot.
Yeah.
I've never had a bill this high ever in my life. Ever. So what's going on?
Yeah, I can't particularly comment on this because my light bill is significantly lower than what people experience.
Even after in the last 2 months with the fuel surcharge issue? You haven't looked at it?
No. My last light bill was about $60.
Okay,
so I can't. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what are you doing? So you have one light on.
No,
and you don't have a fridge.
I'm not particularly registered with BPL.
Okay,
my landlord is.
So
if that makes sense.
No,
so
not at all. Okay.
Yeah. See, it doesn't make it doesn't work like how I experience you all experience it. That's what I'm saying.
Right. All right. Let's see what this caller is saying. Good morning. You're on the air.
Golly, they just talking voice along with you and your guest, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, we need justice, law and order in this country. Dwight, according to what you just said about checking your bill, I got to thoroughly check mine from now on because all I do is pay it off. But what I want to say is, right, yesterday morning I went to church. I leave my current on. When I got from church, the current was off for hours. Hey, I called those people, and I was so angry, I even didn't want to talk to the man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dwight?
I hear you. Uh-huh.
The thing is, something need to give. And the thing is, we pay so much when it comes to tax. You know what I'm saying? And we get nothing for it, but this bad treatment. Hey, man, and my place was hot. I want you to know I was heated, okay? These people got to behave themselves.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You know, I like about that one caller. He always starts with Justice Law and Order. I find that fascinating. He's consistent. They're consistent, yes.
Some of your text messages. I guess one can say that the Bahamas government has found an extremely efficient way to punish our murderers, give them bail. We'll get to that in a bit. What is this now? Your guest is funny. The culture of a high majority of people who say they're from Grand Bahama, they're actually born in the Ram Memorial Hospital and clinics in the other settlements. Nice try, though. Do you understand what they're saying? I don't understand any part of this.
I was born in Princess Margaret Hospital. I don't understand what they're saying.
But if they're born, the majority of people who say they're from Grand Bahama are actually born in the Ram Memorial Hospital. So what's wrong with that? That's Grand Bahama, right?
Yeah.
Or on clinics in the other settlements. Okay.
Are they trying to say I'm not Grand Bahamian?
I don't understand.
I don't understand what they're saying there.
Okay.
I can send them my school records and everything they want. That just send your email and I'll send it to them. That's the case.
But you weren't exactly claiming that you were Grand Bahamian. Like, I'm telling them that since you lived the majority of your life there, you are.
I'm pretty much Grand Bahamian. Yeah.
This one says, when will we have a Bahamas Tennis Open? Why can't they open their eyes and learn from Wimbledon? Why don't these people in government build a Bahamas Grand Prix? And I'm editing because it got it. Every sentence has dumb in it. Okay. They're dumb for not having a Bahamas Tennis Open. And, okay. And they're mad at this dumb place. Okay. I hear you. You could organize something, You could do it. You want the government to do everything?
Isn't the whole tennis association? Yeah?
Certainly not the government involved in Wimbledon.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a thing. They have a, the monarchs have a prominent place in it. But it's not a government thing.
No.
So you do it. You organize the Grand Prix. Good luck. And organize the Bahamas Open. I know they tried something before, but you do it. What are you waiting for? The government? Do you see what they do? I mean, they did the Bahamas games pretty well. But anyway, if Voldemort can from Harry Potter can keep the lights on, I would support him. Oh, that's all right. Okay, right? So you see, that's how desperate people are.
Wow.
I tell you, North Korea, come on in. I'm the power is on, the lights and the bills are down. Whoever you are,
okay,
come forth.
Jesus.
Hoping all is well. I have a question for you. I'm a senior citizen living in the Bahamas. I'm wondering why it is that we are so stuck on power generation. Don't we have wind? We have sunlight, we have water, and a lot of garbage that can be burnt. Also, power. Why can't we use some of these other alternatives? Well, people have been asking those same questions for many years, and have been advising and recommending the same. But certain people seem to be stuck. This texter says, a foreign company coming in and competing with BPL and taking away money from the oligarchs? Never, as long as the PLP and the FNM are in the government. As Plato said, the price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men.
That's so cute. I like that too. I like that quote. That's nice.
This one says here, life without power was a living hell if you're living in the back of Marshall Road last week. I don't know what was going on, and when you don't have electricity, you don't have the internet, cable, and phone, and not one word from BPL as to what is going on. Are they load shedding? I think they're doing everything. They're load shedding. They've got bad equipment. They don't know what they're doing. They're confused. It's all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So we are getting screwed. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are you there? No. Okay. A couple more messages before we take a break. This person says here, good morning, gentlemen. I live in Turks and Caicos. We only have a private company from Canada called Fortis. We just might have the most stable power grid in the Caribbean. It is rare that we have an outage. And if we do, it is swiftly restored. Maybe a private company is the way to go for the Bahamas because BPL is a joke. You hear that, Tate?
I hear that loud and clear. It's just that I don't know if I could trust private people.
You know,
the private sector.
If your bill is lower and the power is on, who gives a...
Some caveats to that.
Mm.
I don't know.
You should give.
I mean...
But still, they're doing what you've hired them to do.
Yeah.
Right? Affordable power.
But there has
Hopefully
to be some...
there'll be renewable energy involved in it somehow, and we won't be damaging the environment.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
There has to be some good oversight to it to ensure that things aren't shicey things aren't being done.
Well, we have the groups that are supposed to be doing that, right? Are
What
they doing what they're supposed to be doing?
Well, I don't even know. That's a good question. Our good friends.
Yeah. This one says, I've noticed this trend during many games we had. The Bahamas games were no exception. There are many naturalized students who participate in the games.
And so what?
Yeah.
And so what?
However, from my observations, hardly any Haitians as opposed to Jamaicans attend our games. What do you think the reason is for that? Now, how would you know?
How do you know they're naturalized?
And how do you know that they are not of Haitian descent, the people in the audience? How do you know? How do you know? Anyway, there would be more people in the stadium if their families came out to support their kids. You're making a lot of assumptions. A lot. Dwight, you mentioned Russia again. Be careful. No. The last time I was wondering why Russia was trolling me, and now this is different. I'm just making an example. Even if it's Russia, I would say. Right.
Let's just hope the folks.
Did you hear what that Russia did?
What did they do?
They the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Russia wished the Bahamas happy independence, right?
Wow.
And they tagged all the media, including Morning Blend. They tagged the Tribune, the Guardian, and all, right? And then everybody in the world, everybody's not happy with Russia. They just went on for 2 or 3 days about, what do you know about independence? How about you give Ukraine independence? Why don't you free your former Soviet republics? What are you going to try to invade the Bahamas next? What are you going to do? So it went on for days. And so I was saying, I even messaged the ministry back, said, please, why did you tag me on this?
Yeah.
Right? Why in God's name did you tag me on this? Because I just kept on getting messages every 5 seconds. And people were very angry.
Wow.
So that was why Russia came up last week.
Shout out to Putin.
No. No. Not on this show. Unless he wants to provide electricity for us.
Well, true, I guess so.
That'll be reliable and affordable.
I guess so. Yeah.
And environmentally friendly.
He probably could do it.
And environmentally friendly.
He probably could do it.
Otherwise, no thank you. This one says here, your guest was sure to point out that NASA gets athletes from the Family Islands. What I'm saying is that it is nowhere like the case in Grand Bahama. They will proudly tell you they were born on Grand Bahama, and yes, I know. Okay.
I don't get what the point is.
Okay.
But I even said that Grand Bahama does that too, so I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They're selective listeners, man.
In my opinion, the reason no successive government has chosen to go the route of alternative or green energy resources or sources is because players from both sides have interests in the oil supply company, and that company reaps revenues in the millions every month.
Which oil supply? Which one are you talking about? I know what you mean. Yeah, you don't talk about it.
They're moving, but very slowly, right? And the goal is very low for 30%. That's low by 2030, which is close. And
you think we're going to reach that?
Not at the pace they're going.
No.
Right? Because I don't think we were definitely not at 10 yet.
No, I don't think so.
So this is already. I mean, we're halfway through 2023, and 2030 is practically here.
Yeah.
So, and that is a low goal, 30. Oh man. I don't know what this has to do with anything. interesting. Your guest must be really young, and that's because he sounds as though, because you're saying you don't trust private companies. Well, I don't know what that's about, Tate. But because
there's a reason for
many
that.
of us would trust private over government. But maybe it is your youth. Perhaps, would you, Jen?
No, I don't think it is. It's just that I don't trust private sector with certain things.
Oh.
I just don't think it should happen.
I know what you mean, and there's been fear, especially with the electricity sector, to hand that over to the private sector, right?
Yeah,
it should be in the hands of the government,
especially if shareholders are involved. You become beholden to what shareholders want, not what the public wants.
Yeah, it can get tricky.
Yeah.
So I do understand. That. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll pick this up on the other side, and we've got a lot more to talk about. The texter mentioned it. The bail issue, this continues. And I keep saying it. Obviously, this is the plan. This is how we're dealing with the crime situation in the country. Just right. You put you out on bail, and then you get taken care of. This has to be intentional. Nobody's doing anything about it.
I think it is.
Right? So prove to me this is not the plan.
Yeah.
This is number one crime strategy. We're going to get anybody who's accused of murder.
Isn't it a feedback loop? One that keep happening? Like if you kill somebody, like once you kill somebody in the Bahamas, it's like a death sentence for you, essentially.
Yeah.
If you think about it. So I don't even know if that's supposed to make sense.
Capital punishment is still on the books.
Yeah.
As they say. So it's a new age form of it. We'll pick that up after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. In Pennsylvania, a sudden flash flood over the weekend took at least 5 lives. Upper Makefield Fire Chief Tim Brewer says several vehicles were swept away by floodwaters, including one with a family inside. The father and a 4-year-old escaped, but the mother did not survive, and 2 children are among the missing.
She was found deceased. Also, the 2 children that we are looking for to bring home, we are continuing all efforts to find them. We cannot even begin and imagine what the family's going through with 2 beautiful children gone.
He was heard there on WPVI TV. That blistering stretch of hot weather put about 1/3 of Americans under some sort of heat advisory, watch, or warning. It's going to be 105 degrees in Sacramento, California today. Russia is suspending a deal that allows grain to flow from Ukraine to countries where hunger is a growing threat, countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. I'm Rita Foley.
It is time for your first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get in gear with an RBC auto loan. In your real-time traffic so far this morning, we're seeing the traffic on Mile Butler Highway and Tonic Williams Darling Highway. So about midway between Fire Trail and Tonic Williams Darling Highway, you can see that heavy traffic for you northbound on some Mile Butler Highway. And the traffic is backed up along Tonic Williams Darling Highway as well, westbound to that roundabout. Your alternate routes are looking a little better. Glasson Road, just north of Munnings Road, is where you'll see that line in front of you heading toward JFK in the northbound lanes. And Blue Hill Road, not looking too bad. North of Carmichael, just as you get north of Soldier Road, you'll see that traffic heading toward Independence Drive. Elsewhere, not looking bad, manageable for you so far, but we'll have another update for you coming up after the 8 o'clock news. That's your Morning Blend traffic brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan. And time for another check of your weather for this morning. We've got low to mid-level troughing that's going to enhance shower activity across the northwestern islands, while high pressure continues to generate fresh to moderate breezes across the country today. For the northwest Bahamas, your forecast calls for variably cloudy, hot, and humid conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms through tonight in the extreme northwestern islands. Partly sunny, hot, and humid with a chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms. Becoming fair and warm tonight with a chance of a passing shower in the remainder of the northwestern islands. Some showers could be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and hot with a chance of passing showers or thunderstorms. Becoming fair and warm tonight with a chance of showers or thunderstorms. Temperature-wise, another hot one in store today. Highs getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. And again, everyone's being advised to remain indoors and limit outdoor activities during peak sunlight hours. Stay hydrated as those triple-digit heat indices will be with us again. And we're also expecting, as there is Saharan dust, that could be a challenge for people with respiratory issues, so keep that in mind today. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook, low-level troughing, and streaming tropical moisture combined with an upper-level low across the central Bahamas, expected to again elevate chances of showers and thunderstorms, while high pressure maintains fresh to moderate breezes. An increase in the Saharan dust layer will produce hazy or milky-looking skies as well. So for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly sunny and hot with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday, partly sunny and hot with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. We'll have a look at the tropics coming up in your weather check after the 8 o'clock news. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment, and low interest rates. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up. Conditions apply.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year.
Percy's pension plan. Island game, keep you winning. Percy's pension plan. Dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's pension plan. Island game, we got you. Percy's pension plan. From the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also near televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:19, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. We've got a lot going on weather-wise. We've got low to mid-level troughing that will enhance the chance of showers across the northwestern islands, while high pressure continues to generate fresh to moderate breezes over the islands. Beachgoers in the southeast Bahamas should exercise caution, as there's a threat of rip currents along east and south coast beaches. Boaters in the northwest Bahamas should be alert for possible waterspout or funnel clouds. And everybody's being advised to remain hydrated and limit outdoor sun exposure during peak hours, as heat indices will again be in the triple digits. And those who suffer from respiratory issues should also limit outdoor activities, as there is the presence of Saharan dust. So, for today, for the northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot, and humid, with isolated showers and thunderstorms, especially in the extreme northwestern islands. Partly sunny, hot, and humid, with the chance of isolated showers or thunderstorms becoming fair and warm tonight. In the rest of the northwest Bahamas, there's a chance of showers, and some of these showers could be heavy, and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny and hot, with a few isolated passing showers or thunderstorms, becoming fair and warm tonight, with a chance of showers or thunderstorms. As we said, another hot day in store. Highs getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius. But the heat index will make it feel like it's 107 Fahrenheit, 41 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. We are already at about 87 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. In your extended outlook, low-level troughing and streaming tropical moisture combined with an upper-level low across the central islands expected to elevate the chance of showers and thunderstorms, while high pressure maintains fresh to moderate breezes. An increase in Saharan dust will produce a hazy or milky-looking sky as well. So for Tuesday, partly sunny and hot with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday, partly sunny and hot with isolated thunderstorms and scattered showers. In the tropics, we've got subtropical depression Dawn, about 1,080 miles west of the Azores. Maximum sustained winds are near 35 miles per hour, moving north near 9 miles per hour, just going around in circles, but no threat to anybody at all. And elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation not expected in the next 7 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online, or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. 8:23, time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get in gear with an RBC auto loan. In your real-time traffic, Mile Butler Highway still heavy, especially, now just north of Fire Trail on the way to Tawny Grooms Darling Highway. And traffic still backed up along Tawny Grooms Darling Highway westbound through that roundabout at this hour. Gladstone Road looking better for you as an alternate route. Just near Munnings Road, you'll see that traffic in the northbound lanes to JFK Drive. Blue Hill Road, a bit of congestion near Carmichael, and busy just north of Soldier on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Elsewhere, not much to talk about, just manageable volumes for you so far. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan.
and Public Beaches Authority invites all private companies and civic organizations to adopt a roundabout. This is your chance to stand out from the crowd, beautify and enhance our local areas for residents and tourists alike, just in time for the 50th anniversary of our independence. With this opportunity, you can engage persons on the go, generate media interest, and promote your company. Stand out and celebrate 50. For more information, you can call 242-604-3750.
We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back to school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, in a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back to school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save, save, save at Janae's annual sale now.
Don't let go of your chance to win big with Alive on 700 Wines and Spirits. We've got an exclusive promotion just for you. Purchase 3 or more refreshing Click Rattlers and pair them with our Freedom 12 plan or higher at 700 Wines and Spirits. To enter the contest, simply write your name and phone number on the front of your receipt. Then snap a photo of your receipt and WhatsApp it to 242-805-7511. This promotion ends July 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Alive. Believe in best.
Summer your way with Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan this summer and open the doors to your dream destination, the perfect home renovation, or prep for back to school, and so much more. Enjoy competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Use your plan loan to unlock your perfect summer break. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan today and have summer your way with Scotiabank. Visit bs.scotiabank.com or call 242-356-1697 for further details.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350.
Indulge in an experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own.
Get in gear with an RBC auto loan with up to 100% financing, extended repayment, and low interest rates. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up. Conditions apply.
That's the sound of your car or truck. That's the sound of your horn. Get in gear with an auto loan. RBC makes it easy to get your own. We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan. Island game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan. Dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan. Island game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan. From the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
It's back! The 35th annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp, July 17th to 28th, inside Kendall Isaacs Gym, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for boys and girls 5 through 18. Sign up your child now at South Bahamas Seventh-day Adventist Office, Tonic Williams Highway, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's the Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp, July 17th to 28th at Kendall Isaacs Gym, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Special appearances by NBA stars, legends, and coaches. The 35th annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp. It's back.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
Indulge in an experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Nassau's my home, my native land. I want them people to understand. Smoke, proud to be a Bahamian. I born there, I born there. Tell them that you born there. I born there, I born there. Tell them that you born there. My grandpa meet my grandma dear. Tell them that you born there. My father meet my mama dear. Tell them that you born there. I born there, I born there. Tell them that you born there. I born there, I born there. Tell them that you born there.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong, along with my special guest co-host today, Tate Adderley from the Eye Opener Saturdays on Guardian Radio. And we're talking about what's in the news. We've been talking about a lot of things so far, a lot more to talk about. We've been talking about the Bahamas games, and we've been talking about BPL. We're going to get to some of these very interesting court stories in the paper today and crime. But just a few more of your messages from earlier. This person says here, Emira seems to be running their options fine on Grand Bahama, and had Hurricane Matthew not had Hurricane Matthew had them off for months, and then the storm surge from Dorian. Well, I think they're saying some words are missing, even though I think they're trying to say the lights still remained on. Dorian, yeah. How soon before it was restored?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was there for Matthew. Though. My power was off for like 2 months.
Oh.
We had a generator, but we turned it on every night for like 2 hours.
But okay, so in situations that you can understand, though, right? It's right. I mean, it's horrible, but there was a natural disaster.
Yeah.
But in normal operations, there aren't going to be outages.
Outages, yeah.
On a Tuesday for no reason.
I know when I lived in Grand Bahama, there was only time that I expected the power to be off, and that was during the summer. And it would happen like once a summer, and that was it. It never went back off.
And for how long?
For like an hour or two. Yeah, because during the summer you're home a lot. You might have generation issues, but you knew before Hurricane Matthew, before Hurricane Dorian, you knew your power was going to be on.
So I guess they're trying to show you that. So private can work.
It can work, but it can go bad as well. Okay. And I think that you should just be careful with your decision makes. Yeah, with all things.
With all things. So this is back to the texter who was talking about they don't see the Haitian people coming out to support their family members who take part in the.
What is the point of this conversation?
I don't know.
What is the point of the conversation that they're trying to
listen
engender?
to what else? Listen to what else they're saying.
Okay.
I know that many of them are naturalized because of our government schools are full of naturalized and even illegal students. I'm not knocking the children because what I said is the truth. I am talking about their families who don't come out and support, and that's a fact. Don't expect the Bahamians to fill the stadiums because only half of our classrooms are Bahamians. What the heck?
You see what this does, right? You see what this
Well,
does.
there's more. There's more.
Okay,
There's more.
okay.
I don't mind if you don't read the text, Dwight, but I hear a lot of people saying this, and I agree 100%. I see hundreds of Haitians walking the street. Sometimes I wonder where I am, but I don't see that picture in the stadium.
Anyway, I don't know what they're trying to get at. Like, what's the point of you bringing this whole point up? What's the point of your rhetoric here? Like, you say you're not trying to knock people, but yet you're so focused on this one issue, and it's outside of the topic, or it's left field from the topic that we're trying to have about the Bahamas games. I just don't get what they're trying to get
I
at.
also don't think they're right. I don't
Yeah.
think you would know. You wouldn't know.
How would you know exactly? But you
You-
see what this type of focus on immigration does, right? You have people talking about things that probably ain't even true, and you're focusing on an issue that is being trivialized or being I'm stoked up for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. Like you're scared of nothing.
Texter, if you're going to respond, I invite you to call in.
my God.
Please call in. And I know you won't, but call in. So you can say it, so I don't have to read this. 323
Oh, there's more to the text.
I don't know. They might respond to what we just said.
Okay.
323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Odd. Okay. Anyway. All right. So
I love my people, Dwight. I love them. They're so interesting people.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you can tell these days. You'd be very surprised. People
I don't even know
look the way that you think.
What we're becoming.
You don't know what.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. I mean, sometimes I've been in places, and you're thinking one thing, and then you turn around and they start talking to somebody else in Creole. Like, oh well, look at that.
But they're here.
But Judah wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can't make assumptions like that.
You know, I was listening to Guardian Radio yesterday, right? The show that comes on every Sunday, and I could sort of understand Creole, and so I was listening into it, and so I was playing it out loud, and I was like, "Oh my God, I hope nobody thinks that I'm this way, and they might attack me because I'm possibly this way."
Attack?
They're crazy, Dwight. These people are crazy about Haitians.
Wow, that's scary. That's scary that you think
But
that.
but could you,
I understand
but could
where
you
you're
imagine
coming
like
from.
the fair Bahamians if they turn on the radio and just hear Creole, like having people complain to you about
All
that
the time.
particular show? Exactly.
Yeah.
So you get where I'm coming from, right?
Right.
Yeah. Wild
Wow.
people, crazy people.
Wow. All right. So, crime stories. This is boy. All right. So we had another one. We just had a rant on Friday about it because I think the day before, or 2 days before, a man was killed. He was out on bail.
Yeah.
For murder, and he was killed. And so Friday, we were talking about it, and here we go again.
Another one.
Dead. It's every couple of days. I said it on Friday. I say, if you are out on bail for murder, or you have a loved one who's out on bail for murder, tell them that you love them and that you tell them how you feel, because you probably won't have much time. That's a dead man walking right there. But yeah, seriously, I mean, can I take out insurance on people I'm not related to?
I heard of a joke one time.
I'd like to do it.
Of mothers who did that, taking insurance policies out of their sons who was involved in crime.
Why not? I don't understand. Anyway, so maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe that's what it is. So a 46-year-old man of Foxdale was shot and killed at a nightclub in Fox Hill around 3 a.m. yesterday. Police reported that the man was involved in a physical altercation with another man who shot him. The victim was on bail in relation to a murder charge and was being electronically monitored. According to the police have repeatedly lamented the fact that many suspects accused of murder and other serious crimes, as well as murder victims, were on bail in relation to murder and other crimes at the time of the new offenses. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe has repeatedly said that people charged with murder should be kept in custody for their own protection. Earlier this month, Monroe said officials were experiencing significant gains in the fight against crime this year due to increased resources. Though.
What are these significant gains? What does that mean?
He said crime in the Fox Hill division has decreased by 42%. Sure. Anyway, so again, I said this is obviously the plan. This is intentional now because we're not seeing any movement by our lawmakers to do anything about this.
Is there money involved when it comes to bail?
Maybe.
How much does it
people
cost
have
to fill out a bail application?
I mean, well, I don't know about that, but sometimes you have to put. Sometimes there is cash bail. Sometimes, and sometimes you have to. Right. So yeah, sure, there is definitely money.
Because I've always wondered. I know in the United States, there's this whole thing about bond, and there's a whole industry surrounding it. You know, paying people, like letting people to get bonds or to pay bail. And I was wondering if there's essentially sort of business surrounding that when it comes to probably the legal field or whatever.
I'm not sure. I really don't know. But I know there definitely is sometimes cash bail and sometimes not. But sure, you got to pay lawyers sometimes. Right? All the time you have to pay lawyers.
They always say it's isn't it a constitutional right?
Yeah,
to
innocent
be able
until proven
to get
guilty.
bail, right?
Sure,
right.
sure.
But I think in this special circumstance, that should be understood, right? That people are dying, and once you kill someone, you're out of bail. That's essentially death sentence for yourself.
You should.
I think in a special circumstance,
to go back
you should
to
opt,
jail.
yeah, or possibly make it so whereas it's not really a denial of bail, but somewhat of a protection for these people. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Sure. I said it last week, and I'll keep saying it, that, this whole ankle monitor system thing was supposed to initially restrict people's movements.
But they seem to be going places.
They go everywhere.
Yeah.
And perhaps if they are restricted in their movement, it'll be better for them. If they cannot go beyond their yard or something, or their street, maybe. But we're not doing anything. They're not doing a single thing to change this. So what is it? When are we going to admit that this is clearly what we are? This is how we do justice in the Bahamas.
But it is essentially justice.
So I mean,
for
should we even talk about it anymore? I mean, should it even make the papers? It's driving up the murder count. But if this maybe it shouldn't be on the murder count.
But then again, don't you think like if you kill a person for killing another person, don't you also put that sentence on yourself because you killed that person? And so someone now retaliate against you.
But it's supposed to be a capital decision, right? That it's supposed to be the law, the country comes together, the jury of your peers, all that kind of stuff. We've tried you and found that there is no evidence or that there is evidence. It's not just supposed to be you on the street in the middle of the day or night.
Yeah, just die.
Right?
It should be.
That isn't fair.
It should be. But then there's also the backlog.
What backlog? Oh, please. These people weren't waiting months. These people were charged and are out in weeks, right? It isn't like that. They're charged with the crimes that they committed last year or this year. So I can understand if you were charged with the murder from 2014, but no, that's not the case.
But I'm also shocked that
and there are people out on bail for 5 murders.
5 murders. Oh.
5, 6 murders. So come on. So no, we were talking nonsense, but this is clearly, there's
a system at play.
Yeah.
Something is at play. I don't think we just understand it.
You would have done something by now, right?
But somebody has to be benefiting from this.
If you feel that the Constitution is limiting you, well, then have a referendum. People shouldn't get bail for murder. Change it. Take it to the people.
But I wonder if there would be some sort of like capture. And when I say capture, I mean it's like where somebody sort of muddies the water of public opinion, and they somehow make people believe that dealing with the bail issue is a bad idea.
Yeah, because some lawyers won't get some money.
Yeah, some lawyers won't get some money, right? Yeah. But I'm interested to see how that would play out in this instance. Because every referendum, it happens.
Right, it won't go the way...
Every referendum, it happens.
Oh, trust me.
People muddy the water and lie
Absolutely.
and say things that are wrong. And the public goes ahead with it. So I wonder how that would happen in this instance.
Let's see what the callers are saying. Call in and text us. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
I hope I don't go all over the place with this, right? But everything is a business. And in business, you have to follow the money, right? So I want you to stop me if I say something incorrect. Now, dealing with the bail... Hello, you still there?
Yeah, still there.
All right. With the bail situation, right? the backlog will never get solved. Because when you go to the courts, you have defense lawyers and you have the prosecutors. The judge will set a date. The defense lawyer will get up and say, I have a court on that date. They'll go over and over and over and tell the prosecutor and the defense could agree on a date. And usually the judge will set a date 1 or 2 months for the case to start. But by the time the defense lawyer and the prosecutor go through all of these dates, you're already back up a whole year. All right? Getting back, and another thing. In the past 15 years or so, you was in the Bahamas, right?
Yes.
Who were the top defense attorneys in the Bahamas? Do you know?
We all know. Mm-hmm. And many of them are
many of them are politicians.
Are in the House, or just recently were in the House. Yeah, absolutely.
And they say now this one don't supposed to get bail, and that one. While for 15, 20 years they were the ones pushing for these guys to get bails.
Mm-hmm.
Now get into the monitor systems. Who are in charge of these monitoring? Who they are?
This is a private company.
You have an understanding who they are?
It's contracts. I mean, private companies, but you can't blame them for
who
this.
The private companies are run by?
Ex-police officers, sure.
So who?
But I mean, I don't blame them for this. It's the government, the politicians need to fix this, right? You have to restrict the movement of these folks. They cannot be allowed to do whatever they want. This is a danger to all of us.
Some of these politicians are the same ones that were lawyers that were fighting for these guys to get bail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And another thing, getting bail, that's a business. All right, you have people around the court systems that will guarantee you if you get a bail, they'll go and put up their property or whatever their property value to get the bail for you, and you pay them.
Wow.
That's a business. Everything is a business. You just gotta follow the money, bro.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
Just follow the money, and you'll see all of the people who making money. It's just like a business.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
No, you're right.
And like I say, the backlog, it won't stop right now, because when you go to court, if a lawyer have a court, if you start from the magistrate court and they give you a date in magistrate, the lawyer say, oh, I have a date in the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court overrides the magistrate courts. And if you go to the Supreme Court and they have a date inside the appeals court, that overrides that date. You understand?
Yep.
So it keep on getting pushed back, and you cannot keep the fellas them in jail forever. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's their constitutional right, like you say, to get bail. And getting bail nowadays is a death sentence.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And
enjoy.
Thank you. And like you said, the backlog, but we've talked about that before as well, like what to do about that. And we've said expand these court hours later, to go into the night, to have Saturday. I mean, sometimes holidays, right? I mean, if you're really serious about it, we can do something. But I don't know. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Dwight, I think that's just one big whole game they play on the Bahamian society, The first time I went to be a juror was back in the 1970s. I was a young man working at Deltec International. One of the first cases I was on was a case by the name of Micaiah Schubeck. A young American man was accused of killing an American accountant that came into the Bahamas to do some work for Paradise Island. I sat through that whole trial, and all these things we're talking about were being done by the same old lawyers who half of them died, been through the House of Assembly. I mean, the House of Assembly. The same old games been going on from way back then, Dwight. Maybe before you were born or before you was in school or something. And the thing I don't understand is I don't think they're telling us that a lot of this letting people out on bail is because they don't have no space in the prison. Remember the prison, what they keep saying was going to be built? How many years we've been hearing they got to build or expand the prison? It hasn't been done yet. The outer walls have been beautified to look at the place for beauty from the outside. But inside hasn't changed anything. They are overcrowded in the prison. They have no place to put these people. The population is growing. Crime is growing. So when they arrest somebody, what they do? They can't keep them in Grove Police Station. They got to pile them up in the prison. When the prison gets full, they can't keep them up there, so they let them out on bail. Dwight, the other day, would you believe it? Smoking marijuana is still illegal in this country, right?
Supposedly.
The other day I was on Fish Fry with a group of people sitting down to a place, having some meals, somebody was cooking and selling drinks. Right in the crowd, here's an individual, in fact, two of them. One was a lady and the other one was a man. They were both wearing ankle bracelets out to Fish Fry. Would you believe they were standing right up there, each one lighting up a joint? Right where we were sitting and drinking beers and so forth and having a good time. You would have smelled the aroma of marijuana live out in the air. They were supposed to be being monitored. But they out smoking grass in public to the Western Esplanade, Fish Fry, in the middle of a bunch of people. Who's monitoring them? And if look at the other.
Their behavior is not being monitored, Sparky. It's where they are.
But look at this again, Dwight. Suppose these other people who's supposed to be coming to look for them, to shoot them, come around there and start spraying bullets at them, and innocent people get shot.
Well, if you notice that you should have moved yourself to the other part of the...
That would be all you do.
Okay, right.
That's the same thing around the parties. People be around the parties, and when these fellas put up in a little small cube and tinted windows, once they open them doors and start spraying, innocent people could get killed. Mm-hmm. That's been happening.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. We just hear talk. That's why Rodney Munn could say, if you're there for murder and we find you guilty, then hang you. Simple. We ain't got to worry with you no more.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I do want to make a point, though. I've always wondered. He talked about weed being not being legal, but I've always wondered how many people that went to jail. What was the number of those people? Whereas weed or being locked up for weed was the gateway for them to a life of like criminality. I've always thought about that. And you think about it as well. What if we just legalize and decriminalize some things and see how much that can possibly make the criminal justice system a lot less heavier, if that makes sense.
Sure. I hear you. That's what they thought was going to happen when the U.S. did it. With alcohol, that things would get better. It'll always move. The goalpost will move.
Oh, but
it'll
stop
be
decriminalizing people. Stop criminalizing things, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The world is on the verge of that one, at least for marijuana. We're very close.
We're very close.
But it'll be something after that.
But black people need to be criminalized. That's always the case, right? In capitalism.
Okay, maybe. Some text messages here. I'm still stuck on the fact that the victim was being monitored. How could he be out at 3 a.m.? Y'all need to stop. I told you before. They have no restrictions. Mm-hmm. It's just where they are. That's all. But perhaps that's what needs to happen, right? You can't be out at this place or beyond this area, and definitely not at this hour. That's how it should be. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't our lawmakers pushing for that? Because this is never going to stop. And like Sparky said, you don't realize that behind you, two people with ankle bracelets are on. You don't know what they're out for. And next thing you know, you're the one who's in the hospital dying. Why are they there? Anyway, this person says, save the Treasury some money and cancel the program forthwith. No, you don't have to cancel it. You just have to put some rules in place. Mm-hmm. This is not supposed to be a free-for-all, and that's what it is right now. Whatever they want. Okay. This is the friend who's talking about the naturalized children.
Oh.
I'm not going to call in, Dwight. All I'm saying is based on the amount of Haitians in the Bahamas, more of them need to support their children's participation in the games we have at the stadium. Hundreds of Jamaicans come out and support their families. I don't even think that's right, Dexter.
That's probably
they just love track and field.
That just might be.
They just love track and field. They don't probably know anybody in the thing.
That just might be an immigration officer, Dwight, who's trying to get them out.
You wouldn't know whether they're there or not. You don't know who those people were.
That's an immigration officer trying to pull a scheme now. That's what they're trying to do.
I know because I sit near them and have a fantastic time. However, it's not the same with Haitian nationals. You're looking for something that you have in your mind.
That's an immigration officer.
You don't understand.
That's an immigration officer.
You don't know what you're talking about.
They work at the Department of Immigration. They're trying to get the Haitians out so they can lock them up. That's what they're trying to do. Simple as that. Yeah.
So listen to this. Okay, so this is a problem. The insurance company will only pay if there's a conviction. Oh dear.
Wait, in terms of the
what?
bail?
In terms of if somebody you have insurance on, if they're you sure? I don't think that's right. If they are murdered, they won't pay out until there's a conviction.
Conviction. Wow.
You sure? Well, I mean, let's not encourage this conversation.
Wait, no, let's cut that right
yeah,
there.
let's just move
cut
on.
that right there.
Okay, let's just stop. Because now we get anyway. The government is a failure, gents. The Prime Minister and Minister of Crime, what now? UB National Security, who are both criminal defense lawyers, and things are worse than ever. Same when we had a doc for PM and nothing is better since he was there. We need to stop making excuses. Politicians from the PLP and the FNM will not change anything. Why can't we get this? They need me to. What? Every other day we have a murder in this country. It isn't normal for society. I think we need someone who is a narcissist to run the prison and Ministry of Security, and we also need to sell and privatize the prison. Yikes.
I thought we already had a narcissist.
For which one? And they say they need me to run the prison and head national security. I bet you they would not want to go to jail every day. I would make up a new prison rule, buddy. They would learn today. Okay, well, perhaps you shouldn't be there. But okay.
These people are authoritarians. That's what they want. Dictators.
Having recently been called for jury duty, I can confirm firsthand how much time is wasted in court. We were back and forth for 8 weeks due to the incompetent lawyers on both sides, no-show defendants, technicalities, etc. Even when a jury was finally selected, the case was dismissed. We need a complete overhaul of our judicial system. Boy, wow, that's rough. Yeah. There was a text. I wonder where that went. That was saying we were making excuses. Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning, call you on the air. Are you there? No, call us back. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. I just want to hear from people like, oh, we don't care. Just say it. We don't care. It's people accused of murder. It's not a big deal. At least it's not children. At least it's not that. And we're fine with this.
They don't even care about the children.
Well, they care about a day.
About a day or so. But
outrage, and then the next day they're on to
I wonder what
else.
ever happened to that case with the young
So
man
many.
who came back from Atlanta and then he got killed.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened to that
I haven't
case?
heard anything about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's many cases like that. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, Tate.
Good morning. Good morning.
Just want to say good morning to you, Tate. It's always a pleasure to hear you outside of the eye opener.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the breath of fresh air here. So thanks for your contribution.
Thank you.
Dwight, we all in this country have to recognize that crime is big business in this country. You know, I often wonder, how the benefits of how the persons on the criminal side who carry out the criminal acts, like their benefits, what they get from it. But I also wonder about the criminal act, the criminal benefits that some of these persons who are supposed to protect the law also benefit from the system. What I mean by that is simply this. It just crossed my mind a couple of days ago. If you got someone out on bail and they actually had to put up what they call sureties, if that person is killed while out on bail, what happens to the sureties of that person or the properties and stuff that person had to put up in order to get bail. What happens to those sureties?
Nothing.
Are they returned back to the family?
Yeah.
Or does the lawyers retain and maintain them?
No.
You see?
It's done.
So that is something that crossed my mind, and I scratch my head and try to figure out how is that part of it, how that part of it works out.
It's very simple. It's null and void. Everything's done. So what? It doesn't matter. Carry on smartly.
Does the lawyer retain? Does the lawyer get the properties, or does the family get the stuff back?
Why would the lawyer get that?
Well, hey, that is just a question I'm asking.
I mean, the lawyer's already been paid. Everybody's, carry. Okay, well, now that's over. Let's go on. That's pretty much it.
That's something to think about. The last part I'd like to mention is this. We got to stop cherry picking about the laws in this country. We have seen white-collar crimes. We've seen blue-collar crimes. But why is it that everything is focused on one set of crime, whether blue-collar? I think which one is the one referred to the ones who are apparently above the law, that they don't seem to be prosecuted and put before the courts? When they do misappropriation of people's funds, misappropriation of the taxpayers' funds, where is the prosecution or the charging of these persons? Why are we not hearing about them? But the small man out on the street, he always is called, always is prosecuted, always is charged, always prosecuted and put in the public spotlight. What happens to the other people on the other end?
Those are they're in the paper, Jeff. There's always somebody charged in that regard.
Let's see what happens. But
now, do they end up in jail? That's the question. But they're brought before the courts. Their name is tarnished. It's in the papers. There are records of it. You're right. You don't hear too much of them being convicted and sentenced to jail time.
Okay. I'll close on this one note so I could get off the phone line. Well, in case in point, those persons who have not disclosed by law, why aren't they put before the courts as yet? I'll close on that note. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, we're all wondering the same thing. It is very disturbing.
I don't want to say something wrong here, but if you read the Public Disclosures Act, I don't think there's a lot of room for penalties there.
No, there's a fine. There's a fine and there's jail time.
Yeah, but it never really gets to that because if you read certain reports, you understand that the Public Disclosure Commission doesn't really function the best based on reports from the
Well, I think they do what they're supposed to do, but it depends on the prime minister and the leader of the opposition, right? And they don't seem to take it very far.
Well, they've had a budget of I think about $40,000 for about a few years, and I think the budget now is about $80,000.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's enough money for them to function properly?
Yeah, definitely. What do they have to do? They tell us occasionally what's going on. Right? They don't tell us who hasn't disclosed, but they tell us that people haven't. And the prime minister and the opposition leader don't do anything.
Yeah, they don't.
So
it says in the act that you may disclose to Parliament
Mm-hmm.
who can do so, but it doesn't say you have to require.
They don't do it.
Yeah.
So who's the problem?
Again, the political class.
We've got a lot of your messages. We'll get to those after the break. We've got a lot more to talk about when we get back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're going to break for news and be back. We're here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
We're taking this thing back to the islands, y'all. Come on. Bahama Islands. Come on.
Summer your way with Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan this summer and open the doors to your dream destination, the perfect home renovation, a prep for back to school, and so much more. Enjoy competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Use your plan loan to unlock your perfect summer break. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan today and have summer your way with Scotiabank. Visit bs.scotiabank.com or call 242-356-1697 for further details.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us. So call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Total Auto Care on Howard Road offers fast, quality auto maintenance at the very best prices. Tune-ups, oil changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, radiators, water pump replacements, and more. Need quality brand name tires for your vehicle? Tires that'll stand up to these roads? No worries. We supply Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, Pirelli, and Toyo. We'll import them fast and install them for you at no extra cost. So when your car needs maintenance or quality tires, we're on Howard Road, just before Burger King. Come see us. Total Auto Care. Call us at 341-6599 or 341-2350.
Tired of paying too many bills and loan payments each month?
Shrink your monthly debt payments down to one easy payment with our debt consolidation loan.
It also has a built-in savings that pays you 5% interest.
Inquire about our debt consolidation loans today.
Call 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, July 17th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, along with my special guest co-host today, Tate Adderley from the Eye Opener Saturdays here on Guardian Radio. We are talking about a number of things in the news, and we're going to get to some business issues in a bit, but we want to continue the discussion about crime and the legal system and the challenges we're seeing. We're really, again, shocked, but not shocked. There's yet another person who was out on bail for murder, of all things, who's been killed. And this is obviously, we're saying, a plan now. Because there's no way. And then after all of this, you've been talking about this pattern for years, and nothing is being done to address it.
Well, I'll just say that I'll go back to what Don says. He says that when they making sense to
Sergeant, your co-host.
Yes, my co-host, yes. He says that when they ain't making sense to you, making dollars for somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But there's no way that we are not endorsing this as a nation, because this could easily be fixed. If you do not want to violate the constitutional rights of these folks, well, then you need to restrict their movements. And for their own safety and for the safety of others, because you're putting people in harm's way. They're always getting shot. Restrict their movements and the times they can move about. That's one thing we can do, but nobody seems to be interested in doing this at all. And so it's just like, well, this is how we deal with a problem. Apparently, prove me wrong. No one can. No one's saying anything.
We need more conversations. We need more debates. We need more
With whom and
intellectualism.
about what?
People, somebody, somehow.
Yeah. For what? Like on this issue?
Not, I mean, on various issues. More talk.
What will that do? Do we need more talk? What would that do?
Look, you know what I think, which is good, but it's significant. The discussion on the marital rape, how this started, because it was never a conversation during the election time, but somehow it seeped into public debate, and it's gotten to an interesting place. It's been a long process, about 2 years now, but it's gotten here.
It comes and goes,
we're drafting legislation, but I think is this the furthest we've ever been?
You mean the furthest along?
Yeah.
Perhaps. You're right. It's out, the bill is out for consultation.
Not exactly. They had a consultation. I said in upper quotes, if you can see me on camera, right?
I mean, public feedback. People
Public
can give their
feedback,
view.
but the bill isn't out as yet. I think the bill needs to come out.
No, the bill is out. Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's out now?
Yes, it's
You
been
sure?
out for a little while.
No, this is something new.
No.
This is something new.
No, it's out, Tig. It is.
No, this is something new. They're drafting a new bill.
Are you saying they're changing it?
Do you mean the gender-based violence bill? This is something different they're talking about now. I went to the event.
All right, so we're gonna have to talk off.
Yeah, we
but
can talk
I know
about
we've
that.
had Marion Bethel on. We talked about it. We went
Yeah.
through it. So that's there. But it just the consultation is still going on. I know I don't know if they have done it yet. They're supposed to meet with the Baptists. This has been months in the
Screw
making.
those
I don't
guys.
know. You can't say that.
Yeah,
You can't
they're
say that.
useless people.
No, don't
and
do
they're-
that.
they're
Don't do that
pushing
because
this
you're
back.
gonna get. Oh dear Lord, that's the largest denomination. You can't say that. At
I
all.
don't care about them.
No.
But
no. That's very, 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 very rude of you to say that, sir. The largest denomination in the country.
They're
Don't-
pushing
don't
back
do that.
progress, though.
And it's only certain people.
Dwight,
It's not
yeah.
all. It's just.
But it's
the
not all of
leaders.
them.
It's just the leaders.
And that's a problem. The leaders are a problem.
Yeah. So I don't know what's taking so long, but that is out. But
But I'm
that
saying
is a different thing.
This is a different thing they're talking about now.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I'll send you the Facebook
and I'll
Live
send
with
you
that.
the
bill.
legislation
Okay,
that is
yeah,
out there. Okay, let's take this call, and then I want to get to some other cases that are in the paper today. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your dad.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Listen, I'm thinking about these persons that out on bail for murder that are being murdered, and these persons don't sign their own bail. Don't the families of these persons by now realize the trend and would say, I'm not going to sign your bail, it's to save your own life, because the court can't keep them. If they get bail, they have to be granted bail, but it's up to me or the family members to sign. What you think?
Somebody else will. They'll find somebody. They'll find a friend. They'll find someone.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true, because they get friends. And I mean, come on, man. For your own safety, I think persons now need to consider, even if they are innocent, because I'm pretty sure all of those persons aren't guilty of murder. But even if you are innocent, even more so then, you should keep yourself locked up for your own safety. Now, when they get out, that's a different story, because they may still come after you, but I'm not going to take bail for no murder. And I'll encourage any of my family members, if they find themselves in that position, God forbid, tell the magistrate, no, that's okay, I could.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Perhaps, right? I think even the National Security Minister was saying that before. The safest place may be in prison for you. This person says here, it's the innocent people that are being monitored by criminals and jailed in their homes while the criminals run free. And the accused, yes. This person says the government is a failure. We read that one already, I think. Yep. This one here, please play the clip from the Commissioner of Police. He talks about repeat offenders out on bail. He means well, but the government is not listening to him. Not listening to anybody. We're all saying it.
Maybe he's just talking for talking's sake.
Well, that's what they think we're all doing, clearly, right? Everybody's saying it. Anyway, any word on the cops about who killed the man on Fire Trail Road? Which one is this? There's so many, we can't keep up. There is money to be made in this chaos, from PMH to the healthcare system, immigration to the justice system. There is public officials and political or their politician and their families benefiting financially. Eek. Okay. Tell that caller that white collar crimes don't kill no one. Everyone involved still lives. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
But then again, I think white collar crimes has a great effect on us to some extent.
It depends on what
Yeah,
it is,
depends on
but
what
it
it
really
is,
can ruin some people financially, and they get themselves into problems and then end up doing some stuff and violently hurting somebody. So I think you can't say it doesn't hurt people.
Yeah.
It can, crime. All of them are problematic. Of course, as a nation, we promote murder and mayhem. Check this out. Oh dear. Okay, bring up a whole bunch of old stories from the early 1900s. Yep. Okay, I hear you. Yep. Here's a nice idea for you. Open up a business that protects those on bail.
You see what that is, right?
Not
You-
for
you
me,
see the problem,
you mean,
right?
but for someone. Yeah, okay.
But you see the problem, like when we think about business ideas, the problems that we get into, like that is a problem there. Protecting people who are on bail.
How are you going to do
Just
it, though?
fix the system.
You can have a special. So this might be. I didn't want to read this message, but now this might be related to that. We need an on-bail hotel resort to house people on bail securely until the resolution of their case. So yeah, you check into the resort if you're out on bail for murder, and
Or have a safe
and
house
then,
somewhere.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
And then okay.
I could probably rent out an Airbnb or somewhere out west, and then charge people to come at my safe house somehow. Maybe that'll also drive property values down.
So you think that would be a good thing?
A good thing, yeah. Yeah. In certain areas, we could drive the
that-
property price down because they
boy.
need to be driven down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that means everyone would know that there will be a safe house then. So it won't be very safe.
That is true.
So
that
this would
wouldn't
be,
be very
you'd be
safe.
defeating the purpose.
But if there would just happen to be a mishap,
So you sound like you don't want to protect these people.
I do want to protect these
No,
people.
no,
but if there were a mishap,
you'd
property
be-
values might go down.
Don't go to Tate's. This would not be the one to go to.
No, don't come to mine.
No,
Don't come to
not
mine.
to his.
Not to
unless
mine.
you like adventure. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Okay. Call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Boy. Anyway.
You want to say something, Dwight? I think you should say it.
No, I don't want
thought.
to say it. I just
say
I
it.
mean, I know the text is being
just say it.
humorous. I mean, it's just so sad. It's just so sad that this is
how we
This is
think.
what we've come to.
50 years, right?
Like we got to protect them. So let's have a business to protect those out on bail for murder. I mean, wow. What about the poor innocent people who got murdered?
Mm-hmm.
What do we need a business to protect them? Which we do. We have tons. Everyone's going to soon have their own security guard in this place. I could see. We're heading in that direction.
But that's what happens, like when the government doesn't do its job, people tend to take things into their own hands.
Yep. Yeah.
And so the government should do its job.
Wow.
Do something about it.
The best safe house is Foxhell Prison, that's what the person says. Do you think there is a difference between someone out on bail for murder and someone out after being acquitted for murder? The relatives feel, don't the relatives have the same feeling against that person? They're both a danger to everyone and themselves. Indeed. Wow. Okay. So I want to read a couple other stories that got my attention and are disturbing. This one here, Artesia Davis writing about it. The prosecution has withdrawn its appeal against an 8-month-long sentence given to a gun convict. Prosecutors had sought to challenge the sentence handed to Ricardo Matthew on the basis that it was too lenient, 8 months. However, by the time the appeal was called, Matthew had already completed his sentence. The Court of Appeal said that even if it found the sentence handed to Matthew was unduly lenient, it would be unjust to require him to return to prison. As a result, Acting Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions withdrew the appeal. It's so many things disturbing about this,
You know what
right?
I think about?
Oh, man.
You know what I think about that case with the son of a politician who had, I think, was it bullets or was it a gun? I think about that case.
No. Well,
Whatever happened with that?
well, that didn't get anywhere near this close.
Yeah.
So the 8-month sentence, which is just very, very lenient. Yes, of course. But the fact that it took so long for the appeal to be heard, that he had already served the 8 months. And I just...
50 years of independence. Golden Jubilee.
This is just wild.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Wild stuff there. Boy, oh boy. Okay, and then this one. After almost 2 hours of deliberation, the jury on Friday was unable to decide whether a 51-year-old man raped a 78-year-old woman in 2021. However, that 9-member jury convicted Charles Lightburn of burglary and causing harm to that same senior citizen.
I would like to read the documents on that case.
Prosecutors alleged that after 11 p.m. on May 6th, 2021, the woman was about to retire to bed when she was accosted by Lightburn, who had entered her house through a window. Prosecutors further alleged that Lightburn slammed the woman's head into the wall before he dragged her into her bedroom where he violated her. The woman said that after the sexual assault, Lightburn threatened to burn down her home if she reported the matter. Lightburn, a farmer, exercised his constitutional right to remain silent during the trial and called no witnesses in his defense. The jury accepted that Lightburn burgled the woman's home, which is located on a family island, and that he viciously beat her. However, the jury could not reach a verdict on the rape charge. What the heck?
Yeah, how does that happen?
What? The prosecution will decide whether Lightburn will face a second trial for the rape. The jury convicted Lightburn of burglary and causing harm by a count of 7-2. Lightburn, who has been on remand since May 13th, 2021, returns to court on September 7th for the penalty phase of his trial. All right, so make that make sense, folks. What are we saying here? The woman, what? She wasn't being truthful, but she was hit. She was hit in the head. That he did beat her, and that he did break into her house. But we don't understand. We don't know whether he raped her.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the documents in that case because was it the fact that was there like a rape kit or was the evidence inconclusive? Like, how does it happen? Like, you can convict him of those two things, but can't decide whether he raped her or not. But you know what's funny? And I'm going to bring this back to marital rape, right? If this could happen, and then shouldn't people, as far as with marital rape, be like not concerned? If that makes sense, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Not really, I don't.
But they have a fear, right? That if marital rape happens, and a lot of people.
Oh, you mean because of this verdict?
Not of this verdict, right? But if they're inconclusive about the rape charge, shouldn't people not fear marital rape legislation?
No, that's not a good argument.
I'm asking a question here. Do you understand what I'm getting at, though, right?
No, the juries are incompetent, and so you have nothing to worry about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not a good argument.
I know, right?
Not at all.
Do you get my point, though?
I hear you. But
Yeah,
I don't think that's what.
It's not a good.
No,
But
not at all.
did you understand what I'm getting
But what
at?
I have noticed, and we don't want to stray too far because the marital rape thing will lead us down. We'll get stuck down.
Yeah, stuck down there. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
But what I do find fascinating is that there are lots of people in this town, this country, who will know very intimate details about a married couple. And they go, boy, he just beat her. Or she get cut up every night. Like, how do you all know all this stuff? So, but people they know this and they believe that, but they cannot believe that there are men capable of raping their wives or that women are being violated by their husbands, knowing that there are many getting beat every day. But that part is just mind-boggling. So I don't understand that, and clearly we have an issue. This story brings to light the fact that we have an issue when it comes to what people are willing to believe when women tell you these things, and it's very strange and disturbing to me. I don't understand it. Let's see what you have to say about it, folks. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. We just had two elderly women in their 80s. The
But this has
houses
been
were
a trend,
broken
though,
into,
it's
right? So, or were people going to do something stupid like that too? Convict the guy of breaking into the house, but not of the rape part?
Rape part, yeah.
Like, what the heck? I don't understand. Make it make sense, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight, sorry to call back.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear you say you find it hard to believe these things that you hear about, right? Let me tell you from a fact. The reason you find that hard to believe is because you were never brought up in the area and in the homes where these things happen. You were brought up in nice parents. Mr. Strachan, my old headmaster, going to St. George's Church all his life. You were brought up in a nice time, in a nice home, and so forth. Some of these people in the ghettos and stuff are living with parents that after work they sit in bars all day and drink gin and rum. They come home all drunk up. They come home angry because they ain't got enough money. They're living in squalor. And the fella doesn't think nothing about beating his wife in the front of children, sitting on the floor, eating out of little bowls or any old foolishness. You have never bought them in those areas. I've lived in some of those areas sometimes, and I saw some violent things. Where men don't only beat women in the house, they beat them out in the yard. And people can tell you these things actually happen. But you don't know nothing about it, and some things that you don't know nothing about sound crazy to you. But it's a lifestyle for some of these people. Women fighting women in the backyard of some of these little ghetto houses and stuff. Men chopping up one another with cutlass. Children grow up watching these things, you know. And they think that's a way of life. They grow up with daddy sitting on the porch smoking a joint. They grew up watching daddy walking there with a gun stick down in his pocket. That ain't nothing new to you. It might be something new to me and you. We scared when we see fellas walk around with a gun in their pocket. I've seen it many times. I can tell you an incident. I can tell you this is the truth. I'll never call a name. I see one night we were sitting in the nightclub and one fellow just walking in, just showing off. He just took his gun outside his doggone pants, turned it upside down, and let all the bullets out on the bar. Bullets was bouncing all over the bar. To him, it just was a joke. But the rest of us just saw how serious it. Plus, it's against the law. He got an illegal gun. And we in a doggone public place in a bar. And he playing this foolishness around us.
Wow.
That's what people do. Believe it, Dwight, these things actually happen. Out there, it's like a doggone game. I scared to go out of my house in the evening. Sometimes I scared to go out of my house in the day. These fellas doing things in the day. You might just be the wrong place at the right time where these fellas follow in a car. They stand a little cube or something. They follow in this car because this guy out on bail who killed their sister or their brother, and they was waiting on him. And they reached the point where he stopped, and he might stop the light right on the side of you. And when they open up with the AK-47, you know them bullets go through a wall, right? What you think when they pass through the car glass and some come straight across into your car, you just happen to be sitting there. You dead. Have a good day.
Yep. It's a tale of
but this
2 or 3 different countries.
No, and so it's like what I'm concerned about most is like, why do they target older women? Do they believe that they will, because they're older, they may have certain properties or certain things that they may have that are valuable, and then the
less resistance
assaults,
as well, and they're not gonna.
And the sexual assault just happenstance, or is that like, oh, I'm going to burgle this place, and I'm also going to sexually violate this woman? I don't get that. Like that, you got to be very mentally unwell or very twisted in the head to think like that. That's
a lot
crazy.
of our people.
That's sick, right? Like, what makes you think that I'm going to go burglarize a place? and then I'm also going to rape this woman that's in there.
Mhm.
Like,
well, this is happening to no matter the age, right?
No matter
They're
the
doing this
age.
to
Yeah,
girls,
yeah, to girls,
teenagers,
yeah.
women of any age, and sometimes even men. So it's good that you don't understand, and many of us would never understand. But this is what we're dealing with in the country.
that is sick.
Yeah,
That is really sick.
yeah. More of your messages. It's interesting how these people on bail are seemingly easy to be found by those seeking them. Perhaps locations are being sold by someone in the monitoring system.
We used to think that it was vigilante police at one point.
It's all the scenarios are likely.
Likely, yeah.
But no, that's a possibility. I mean, if you want to, because all of you are always looking for a conspiracy theory, right? You love that. But the fact is, plenty of the people out on bail are very bold and are very emboldened, right? Like, look what I did or I'm accused of doing. And who cares? I don't care. I'm going wherever I want to go. I'm living my life. You can't stop me. And I will go to every bar and club and party that I want to go to. And I'm going to stand outside on this line for chicken right in front of people in my shorts so you could see my ankle bracelet. What you watching me for? They don't care. And they're not making it a secret. They're not trying not to be seen. So it could be, who knows, but it's more likely the mentality of these folks. They don't care about us. And you're all the same family members who go to their release parties. So don't pretend, right? And they have big time parties. Oh, you getting out today? We having a party tonight.
Oh my
God. Okay. You've never heard of this?
No, I'm not denying it happens.
Oh,
I'm saying your voice is funny. That's all.
That's how they sound to me. No? That's how they sound.
I think that voice would be more Bahamian, not American.
Did it sound American?
It
to you?
sounded a bit American. Yeah,
It was American. I think it was very good Bahamian.
What school you been to? Which high school you been to?
That's irrelevant. This country is there's a text. This country is a big hot mess. No more huge celebrations and unnecessary partying until politicians fix the problems for real. Well, that means the party's done forever. You know what's amazing? Nothing ever happened to the Defense Force officers who brought kilos of cocaine on the government's plane and got caught red-handed. This country's a big joke.
And there also was the Laura Quinn accident, I think it was, where I think they had a certain number of bales of cocaine caught out at sea, and then when they reported it, the number of cocaine bales reported was like less.
Much less. I think I remember that.
They had a commission and everything. Whatever happened to that?
Things like that have happened since.
But what about the police officer who was caught on a plane shipment? Who was supposed
we could do that for hours. What about? Do you remember what about that one?
Yeah, it's like,
hey, what up?
It's just
that would
like,
go on.
This is the
all
gangster's
day.
paradise. That's what it is. Yeah,
absolutely. This person says here, back in the late 80s and early 90s, there were so many traffic cases that courts were held in the evenings. The treasury was replenished greatly. These days, with more traffic, that's not the case. The government needs to put more tax on people while revenue drives through the red light. The government's putting more tax on people while the revenue is driving through the red light. As they're saying, we should crack down the traffic violations, and that way we can cut down on taxing people.
I think if they had a camera on every light, and you're not supposed to cross that line, by the way. Aaron always complains about that. When you put a camera there and you see who crosses the line, and you take their license plate and you tax that particular, or you find that particular car, I think that'd be interesting to see what happens.
They would make millions, but the fellows who are committing burglary nowadays are opportunists and would most likely target people who are more vulnerable. Yes. Women like bad man. Okay.
Shut up.
These things happen in the rich people's lives too, but you just don't hear about it on a regular basis until something drastic happens with things. Yeah. Okay. A couple other stories that are interesting in the Tribune. They're saying that Labor Minister Keith Bell says that the Atlantis has received a report from the Department of Labor's investigation into comments by the resort's president. You remember that?
RCL?
Right, about were employees feeling pressured to sign petitions or to complain about the Royal Caribbean Beach Club project, and so they did an investigation. They sent their people onto the property to do a survey, and so they've received the report. Keith Bell is declining, though, to give the details. And he was asked, apparently, about the barbers. We just asked about this last week, the two immigration officers who slapped the Haitian barbers. And more than 4 months after the two officers assaulted the Haitian barbers, Keith Bell said the investigation is still ongoing. What in God's name is there to investigate more into that? 4 months? It feels longer than 4 months.
How long is the MP being investigated?
It feels like 10 years.
10 years.
I mean,
yeah.
like, what is going on? What type of what is there to investigate?
Yeah.
We've heard it already, and I mean they've not officially said it, but they did not have a work permit to do what they were doing, right? Fine, but you slap these two men. Right. What is there to investigate? We saw on camera.
But
what's the big deal?
You know what was funnier even too is like when it came around to the news coverage, right? And I think we talked about this at something else, right? They said that in the news that these were individuals that appear to be or wearing immigration officers' uniforms. You don't think that's kind of strange to say something like that? But like, who would go to a business establishment, dress up like an immigration officer, and just slap two people?
Anything is possible in the Bahamas.
But that's weird, though. Who does that?
A lot of weird things happen.
That's
weird things happen. So let's read more about what Keith Bell is saying here. So he was asked if he is certain that the investigation is happening, because I mean, this is like, are you sure there's an actual investigation? Because I mean, my God, this can't be hard to investigate. He said, "quote I would like to think so." What does that mean? Residents often complain that authorities rarely discipline officers and that officials spend months claiming that investigations are ongoing when none are taking place. In February, not long after the video surfaced, Mr. Bell told reporters he hoped the investigation would be completed within a week. At the time, he said, quote, I cannot, on Friday, he told reporters, I cannot say anything much further because, as you know, the matter is still active.
Yeah.
And I don't want to prejudice the individuals or the officers.
Garbage.
But I can assure members of the public that we are here to ensure that we treat everyone with basic dignity, human respect, and we also have to ensure that the officers are always protected once they act in the confines of the law.
It almost feels like when it comes to certain high cases like these, right, their tactic is to just draw things out for a couple of months, and then once the outrage dies down and the public forgets about it, you just come up with a statement saying, "Oh, we have concluded an investigation, nothing has come out of it, forget about it." That's how the whole Jobet thing felt at one point, and this is how
this is the
certain
traffic
cases
and the police officers.
are happening with the MB case and these two immigration officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is insane. Right? How do you? I mean, because it's a clear thing. It's very obvious. They weren't impersonating immigration officers. These actually were immigration officers. We see them slapping the two men. What is there to investigate? More than a week. This is ridiculous now. I mean, how can we take anything you do and say seriously? Why would this drag on for most of the year?
I see why Amnesty International is right about us. Because we're horrible. We are horrible when it comes to treating immigrants a certain way.
Yeah. Well,
you ever been to the detention center?
Not recently, but a long time ago. But
how was it?
But I mean, not a place you want to be.
Exactly.
But this could happen to Bahamians too.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
It would still take months to investigate.
I mean, the
what
police
is going on.
Allegedly, they beat you with phone books and pour hot sauce in your eyes. Apparently,
oh my God!
Allegedly,
don't
documented in the newspaper, right?
So we got problems, folks. We've got problems.
Really do, yeah.
Let's take a break, and then we're gonna get back to this. We need to take that break now, and then we're gonna get back to your calls and your messages on this. Give us a call when we get back. 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259, or call us toll free 242-300-5720. This is Morning Glen Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
An experience that awakens your senses with Nescafe Gold. Premium Arabica coffee beans, carefully selected, roasted to perfection, and finely ground, resulting in a unique and unmatched flavor and aroma that captivates the senses. Enticing aroma, smooth taste. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money, guaranteed with DIC.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing, hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Fidelity, we're good for you. My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity. It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it. My sales increased, and I can track my earnings. Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today. Call 356-7764.
A lot of folks are wondering, what is the Agrarian Awards? It's an award show to celebrate the people who produce the food that feeds the country. So September 16th, we're giving out trophies and money to young farmers, backyard farmers, sheep runners, goat herders, pea pickers, onion planters, basically everyone. But we couldn't fit all that on the invite, so we put Agrarian Awards instead. Go to adobahamas.org to find out how to nominate your favorite agrarian. The Agrarian Awards, September 16th.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Prime Minister Philip Davis expressing confidence that the government will meet its target of 30% renewable energy generation by 2030, and he's conveying hope that the government could even surpass that goal. Davis was addressing the Bahamas Youth Climate Conference on Friday, said his administration has recently made progress. He said the goal of reducing the greenhouse emissions by 30% by 2030 is designed as our contribution to reducing the carbon footprint globally. And he says that's the commitment to the international community, and that is what we will do. He said the government has introduced several initiatives to help speed things along, including the elimination of import duty on lithium-ion and lithium phosphate batteries. Read more on what he said in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute revealing that its latest trade quarterly report that the value of imports during the first quarter of 2023 increased by 22% when compared to the same period last year. The total value of commodities imported into the Bahamas stood at $1.02 billion at the end of the first quarter. The value of commodities imported in the first quarter of 2022 totaled $838 million. The major groups of merchandise were machinery and transport equipment, which totaled $205 million, food and live animals at $198 million, and mineral fuel, lubricants, and related materials at $151 million. The combined value of These categories represent 54% of total imports. And Hallmark Channel has announced its first ever Christmas-themed cruise from Miami to Nassau. The leading television network in Christmas movies will set sail November 5th through 9th, 2024, on board the Norwegian Gem, which will be decorated in everything Christmas for fans to enjoy the holiday and the network's films in true Hallmark style. And according to Hallmark in a press release, quote, "We hear time and time again that people want to immerse themselves in the world of Hallmark Channel Christmas movies, and this venture is sure to bring our brand to life in a new, captivating way." Well, while on board the 4-night excursion, passengers can look forward to a number of activities, like taking photos and participating in games and activities with Hallmark Channel stars, watching the world premiere of the Countdown to Christmas Hallmark Channel movie and movie marathon in an 850-seat theater, wine tastings, movie panel discussions, cookie decorating, and craft workshops. Overseas, China's economic growth missed forecasts in the second quarter of the year, adding to worries over surging youth unemployment and a weak property sector, and raising the likelihood the government will double down on support for the faltering post-COVID-19 recovery. The world's second largest economy grew at a 6.3% annual pace in the April through June quarter, much slower than the 7% plus growth analysts had forecast, given the anemic pace of activity the year before. Unemployment of youths aged 16 to 24 rose to a record 21.3% in June, up from 20.8% the month before. Investment in property development, a vital driver of both industrial and consumer demand, sank 7.9% in the first half of the year compared to a year earlier, in a troubling sign of persisting weakness in an industry that slowed even before the pandemic as the government moved to rein in excessive borrowing. Officials have acknowledged that the economy is facing stiff headwinds, but said they expected growth to still reach the ruling Communist Party's official target for this year of about 5%. And Russia halted a breakthrough wartime deal today that allows grain to flow from Ukraine to countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, where hunger is growing. And high food prices have pushed more people into poverty. A Kremlin spokesperson saying Russia would suspend the Black Sea Grain Initiative until its demands to get its own food and fertilizer to the world are met. While Russia has complained that restrictions on shipping and insurance have hampered its agricultural exports, it has shipped record amounts of wheat. The suspension marks the end of an accord that the UN and Turkey brokered last summer to allow food to leave the Black Sea region after Russia's invasion of neighbor Ukraine worsened a global food crisis. The initiative is credited with helping lower soaring prices for wheat, vegetable oil, and other food commodities. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday. Your market movers, benchmark moving 800 shares, closing down 6 cents to 270. Bahamas First Holdings moving 500, closing at 246, down 3 cents. Bank of the Bahamas moving 200, closing at $4, unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 25,702, unchanged at 359. Consolidated Water down 3 cents to 418. Emira Incorporated up 17 cents to $10.07. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,552.65, down 3.23. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight to CFAL Talks, 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're back here with Morning Glen Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with Tate Adderley. We're trying to make sense of it all. Just things just not computing. why it's taking so long for some of these investigations, the crime situation, the judicial system, just head scratching. What is allowed to continue here in the country. Got a few of your messages to get to and calls as well. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you and your guest. Yeah, a couple of callers ago was saying that what happened to the property or I think you mean the money or the property when these persons who on bail are murdered. But the persons who on bail, they wouldn't have no property left in the court. The family or friends or other people who stand bail for them will they know whether they use the house or the land, the property. They have to take them into the court. It's usually no cash bail for Bahamian. Like the other lady the other day who was charged with murder and then they finally give her bail. She had cash bail. That's the difference. But Bahamians don't used to get cash bail. They don't give it's always bail with surety, 2 or more persons.
Right.
You understand, Dwight?
Yeah. So
and what happened there, Dwight? I waking around the court. I remember. Sometimes it'd be years and years, because when you put your house or property in the court, it's no guarantee you're going to get that back as soon as the case is resolved or of the person become deceased. What the whole problem is, those documents get lost around the court, and some of it take years and years and years to find those documents. Sometimes people there and never get the documents back from the court that they stand bail for somebody with. You understand?
Wow.
So it's nobody gains anything like that. That's all we're trying to say. What happened to the property of the deceased person or something like that, whether the family or a lawyer get that? It's nobody else get nothing. Only the person who stand their bail try to get their documents back. You understand?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I wake around the court, man, and I tell you,
Yeah.
I know.
That's disturbing.
I know it's a long process out there. And when I used to be out there, I used to have to go to Foxtel prison to serve documents on the people in case when Supreme Court opening. If they don't have no lawyer, you got to go up and to every bloody cell up in that Foxtel prison there. And some of those cases, when you have 5,000 or 10,000, when you have 2,000 or 1,500 in jail, you get about 10, 15, 20,000 persons on bail, and some of those cases never tried. It's too much backup, and night court will not do nothing for that. The lawyers is the ones, a caller was saying, Sparky and all was saying, the lawyers is the one that hold up the case.
My goodness.
I remember working on the court one time. It was a murder case. Justice John is in the appeal court now. This lawyer, he's still practicing. I can't call his name. Every Thursday, he used to say, and we were sequestered. I was a sergeant sequestered in the hotel with the jury. And every Thursday, he tell the judge, I have a case in appeal court. The appeal court supersedes Supreme Court. So I said, man, look, this case going on 3-4 weeks now, and he ain't going nowhere. And I lock up in the hotel away from my family. The jury's lock up from their family. And the case ain't going to be. So when the court break that day, I go on down by the appeal court. I always have my document with cases come up in the appeal court. So I go on to the click with the Lightburn, rested there, right? Father Norman Lightburn, brother. And I said, check your record. Does this lawyer have a case down here tomorrow on Friday? He checked his record. He said, same record you have, Carol, I have my own. This lawyer don't have no case down here. I go back and I tell Justice John Isaacs, and he summons that lawyer to come to his office then. And he do it in an open court. He said, now, you don't be in court tomorrow morning that this case, where everybody's sequestered in the hotel, and the sergeant, the juries, and everybody, you will be in contempt of court. And by the time he came, next morning he was in court.
So there was no penalty for him lying? There was no penalty for him lying to the court all those weeks? I mean...
I don't know what... Justice John Isaacs didn't tell him that, but he gave him a severe warning. You see? That lawyer is still practicing now. He's not a Bahamian, but I don't know if he got Bahamian citizenship. He's not a Bahamian. You should know it. He take most of the top cases, the top murder cases in the Bahamas. Other than Wayne Monroe when he was there. Okay. You understand? Yeah, and when I was awakened as a corporal, not a sergeant, in the 89, 90, 91 fight on Cable Beach, he used to prosecute in 20 General Roads at the time.
Okay.
You see? And they tell me that he used to only take the cases that he shuffled through the files, only the cases that he could win For the crown, he'll take.
Wow.
And he does the same thing now in private practice.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Ah, boy. That's wild.
You know what, Dwight? You know what I love about your show is that a lot of people listen to it. A lot of interesting people listen to it and they call in. What that call said just now was just very interesting.
Very serious.
We need whistleblowers. We need more of them. We need people who talk about these things. That's what we need.
But if there are no penalties for you when you do foolishness like that, then they will continue to do the foolishness. And obviously that's still happening.
But we need to embarrass people first and call them out for what they do.
Oh, my God. I mean, he should have been in contempt immediately.
Immediately, yeah. He should have been disbarred.
Yeah, well, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tate. It's
Good
Tate, right?
morning.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Dwight, Tate is a well-poised, well-thought-of young man, so I like to listen to Tate, But, Dwight, the caller was a former police, and he was correct, but he doesn't want to mention the compilations. The police are also guilty because anyone who's been through the system knows that sometimes they charge you just from visceral feelings, inside feelings. They know you, they know someone you related to, they hate you, they charge you anyhow. But it's not, I don't know how prevalent it is, but it does happen where they charge people either, they still carry out the brutal tactics of beating prisoners to make statements and stuff like that. It's all, the confessions are not videotaped, and there's a lot of loopholes in the system. So they have the power to do it. And so it is done sometimes where they charge the person anyhow and just let the court sort it out. Now, he could say otherwise, but I go by what I observe, and that's a fact. He cannot deny it. And many other officers, there's a guy, as a matter of fact, did a video the other day depicting the prison and brought out all of the blue wall of silence the other day on WhatsApp. I was minding my own business. Every Bahamian might have heard it. I don't know who all heard it, but that's where it's at. So it's not just the lawyers. It's a compilation. Okay, Dwight?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Everybody's contributed to the mess that we're in. This one says here, the lawmakers have always been the major problem in the Bahamas. We need a communist party to purge the blight in the House of Assembly. What the heck? Oh, my goodness.
That person is so interesting.
That's the word you want to use? Interesting?
Interesting.
Okay.
No. I mean, we do need to get to... Some people shouldn't be involved in politics. The legacy families... Right, them Nards and them Sons and them Lurs. I'm removing some letters from the names if you get my drift.
This person saying they are stalling with the barbers. We need to put in the barbers need to put in their lawsuit. Then you will hear settle out of court no matter. Oh, the barbers need to put it in lawsuit. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they can. If they have the, I don't know if they can. Because they, oh boy, it just doesn't need to run on this long. This is simple, right? This is a simple thing. They're making it bigger than it needed to be. I don't even know. It's wrong what they did, the officers. I don't know if it's grounds to fire them. I don't know. It's wrong what they did. Punish them and move on. Yeah. That's all, right? Tackle the people who are working outside the scope of their work permits and move on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
This person says here is the loophole. If a lawyer steals from his client, the Bar Association just tells the lawyer to pay it back to the client. So police are never involved. The Bar Association has a part to play in all this as well.
But they didn't do that to Home Gal, who got disbarred recently. I ain't gonna call her name because you want me to call her name, but it's in the news.
I mean, we question how the Bar Association works because there's certain things they deal with and other things they don't deal with. There's a bunch of people around here who I don't know how they can be lawyers, but yet they are. And But oh well. Tate, it's been an interesting morning. Thank you very much for being here.
You know, I really enjoy this show because I get to be Tropsy on here. It's fun.
You don't get to be Trapsy on the eye opener?
I open up, but I like to bring it here because you like to, it's nice to see you like squirm in
you like to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten some messages about some of the things you've said so far.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Maybe the people agree with me. Maybe they like me, Dwight.
Yes,
Maybe they like what I say.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Great to have you with us. And hopefully we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, soon enough before I leave.
Yes, you're going off to school soon.
Yes,
Next month.
Next month, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it before that.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Stand